The thing that really saved me in terms of chronic pain was a keto diet. Hello, friends. I'd like to welcome you to probably the most disappointing what I eat in a day video you will ever watch. Because what I eat every day is pretty boring. Kieran's eating a toy right now. Anyway, I guess let's get to it. My morning starts with coffee. Always. It is the first thing to touch my lips in the morning. Coffee and half. From there, I have another coffee, and after that, I have another coffee, and usually after that, I have another coffee. So around 4 coffees. It's pretty average for me every day. So if you've been watching for a while, most of you do know that I have a chronic pain condition called CIDP. That's chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. I developed this after having a severe reaction to a medication, which I will never ever take again. The injectable kind. I am, let's see, 2015, 8 years out from my initial GBS reaction. I couldn't walk for like maybe 8 weeks. It was more like muscle weakness. I wasn't paralyzed or anything. But I was pretty much left with severe neuropathy, peripheral neuropathy in my hands and my feet that would radiate to my elbows and up to my knees. Very painful. Felt like an electrical fire is the best way for me to describe it. Years of chronic pain and fatigue that opiates could barely take the edge off of. It was bad. I really didn't want to be on oxycodone or gabapentin anymore, so I looked into more natural ways of dealing with inflammation and dealing with like nerve damage, like the myelin sheath of the nerves that gets damaged when you have CIDP. So I started taking a lot of supplements, a lot of vitamins, vitamin B1, thiamine. It's really good for your nerves, really good for neuropathy. And I was able to get off gabapentin because I take thiamine. I would retain so much water that the surface of my skin felt bruised. Like, if you just were to rub me like that, it hurt so bad. It felt like nails on a chalkboard. It was awful. The only thing that felt good to me was like really hard pressure because I'm assuming it was pushing the lymph out of my limbs. So the thing that really saved me in terms of chronic pain was a keto diet. I know that keto and the way that I eat is not for everyone. I don't suggest that anyone adopt what I eat to cure their own ailments. You might discuss it with your healthcare providers or a dietitian, but don't copy what I do thinking that it's going to be a miracle or anything. But this is what works for me. What I do is I tend to pick a vegetable, non-starchy vegetable, a protein, and then a healthy fat. And that is my meal, my keto meal. I also do something called intermittent fasting, where I fast for a long period of time, usually from, sometime at night after dinner until almost lunchtime the next day. I don't tend to eat breakfast unless it's the weekends. That's when we have our big, delicious breakfast of like eggs and bacon and avocado and tomatoes and stuff. But that's not a typical day. A typical day for me is I fast overnight well into the afternoon or around noon. It's different when your body is adapted to a lower carb diet. You just don't feel hungry. You really just don't have that need because from what I understand, your body is burning fat or something. Like I said, I'm not a diet guru. I don't know all of the things, but this is just, I do notice that when I am low carb, I'm just not hungry all the time. And I can tend to go 6 to 8 hours without eating and be totally fine, be totally sated through the whole 6 to 8 hours. But if I am eating a more standard American diet, I am definitely hungry every 2 hours. Lower carb diet, I'm not getting that rush of energy and then a crash. It's more like it's a slower onset of the energy, and then it just lasts longer. Like I'm assuming because there's a high fat content in my diet that it burns for longer, and it's not like a hit of glucose. My sugars stay relatively stable. Ever since going more low carb / keto, whatever you want to call it, my chronic pain has been very, very manageable. It's almost at a point where I feel cured. The only reason I know I'm not cured of my CIDP is that if I do have like a cheat day, if I eat something really carby like pasta, or if we get like Thai food or something, rice, pastas, or if I have something sweet with sugar, I will have 3 consecutive days after that where I'm in immense pain, like body-wide pain, and then I have lymphatic retention like everywhere. So that is how I know that I am not supposed to be eating sugar and carbs. It's just not, it doesn't work with my body, I feel like everybody has a different chemistry and different foods work differently for everybody. For me, sugars, starches, very carb heavy things just don't work for me. That's not saying that I won't eat those things, they're delicious. Who wouldn't want to eat a cupcake or pad thai once in a while? But the thing is, I kind of have to plan it out because it will be a good 3 days of me being in pain and having inflammatory issues and potentially feeling peripheral neuropathy after that. Is it worth it for me to have 3 days of pain just for a delicious plate of food? Most of the time it's not. And I'm pretty sure I have some kind of insulin resistance because when I do have carbs, it tends to be a little bit higher, not, diabetic or pre-diabetic numbers, but definitely just above what you would consider normal. Diabetes and insulin resistance does run in my family, so being low carb and controlling my glucose that way makes a lot of sense for me. Low carb tends to make you release your lymphatic retention, so your water weight. You lose that relatively quickly, like probably a week into being low carb, you'll just lose all your water retention. And it tends to stay that way. Like you tend to not hold on to water very well. So I do have electrolyte packets that I like to drink. They're from Element. I get the chocolate salt flavor. Pretty good. Then I also have this giant hydrocell water thingy. I think it holds 64 ounces. I don't know. Kameron got it for me. It doesn't say anything on the bottom, but I am pretty sure it holds 64 ounces. I try to drink at least one of these a day. So here's why this is the most disappointing what I eat in a day video you'll ever watch. You're not going to see much food. And I don't know if it's the fact that I'm neurodivergent, but I tend to fixate on certain types of food. And I will just eat the same thing over and over, day after day, sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months. My latest fixation has been kind of an expensive one. I have been obsessed with poke salad. So it's like poke, but I don't get the rice. So it's raw fish and salad. I have been fixated every single day. I crave that. It sounds so good. It would be irresponsible for me to get it every single day. So I've limited myself to once a week, poke salad. It sounds good. It is almost noon, however, so I am gonna go make my first meal of the day. I kind of have to hurry because I just left the room and Karen's already mad. This is just a meal that we prepped the other night. It's chicken, asparagus, and riced cauliflower. Just gonna pop it in the microwave. Put it on a bamboo tray, and then I head back upstairs. And that's it. That's the whole day. That's all I eat all day. Just kidding. We meal prep typically on Sunday night, where we make just a large batch of the meals that I'm eating today. And then we have a few meals for probably the first half of the week. I do want to get more of these containers from Target just so I can have like a whole week worth of meals prepped. So, meal one down. That's my main meal that sort of gets me through the whole day. I do have some housework to do and I have some orders to pack for my Etsy business. So once I'm done doing that, I'll be back with what I eat for a snack. First snack of the day is usually some kind of nut. I usually go for 1/4 of a cup. This packs in 210 calories, I think 22 grams of fat, and only 4 carbs. I do have to be careful with foods like this because it is really, really easy to overeat them, like especially if you just have the bag sitting next to you. I think it's usually around 20 of these is the correct serving size. It's been several hours since I had my first meal, my lunch. And then I've just had my midday snack. Midday. It's almost the end of the day. But I really don't eat anything else. I might have like an afternoon coffee. I had 3 this morning, so I probably will get my 4th coffee in this afternoon. And ADHD thing. We love our stimulants, right? But yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to have my last cup of coffee for the day and then get to doing the rest of the chores that I need to do. I won't bore you with showing you any of that, but I will pick back up when I either have another snack or if I have my last meal of the day, whichever comes first, or whatever my body needs. That's what I do. I just sort of listen to my body and take those cues. We are back. Cameron's on his way home. He just had a cleaning at the dentist. Oh my gosh. I have so much that has to be done. It's not even funny, but that's a whole other video to come. Cameron's just stopped at Target to pick up some bacon, breakfasty things for the weekend, and also some celery because I'm making hot wings tonight. I'm a big, big fan of Primal Kitchen hot sauce for hot wings. It is keto friendly, low carb friendly. We ran out of all of that though, so I think he's going to try to pick up something from Target that's similar. He's going to, check the labels and everything. But hopefully it's good. But that is going to be a delicious way to end the day. Cameron got home and he brought home some Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo sauce. 1 carb per serving and 0 sugar. I guess we'll see if it's good as Primal Kitchen. Probably not, but this is what we're working with. I have thawed the party wings and coated the pan and the wings in this avocado oil. Just gonna lightly season with some salt and pepper. Now that these are seasoned, I'm gonna stick them in the oven at 450 for 30 minutes. I am checking for doneness. Got my hot sauce simmering and I heated up my plate in the microwave. That just helps keep the food hot after I put it on the plate. These are steaming hot, so I'm going to cut up the celery right now. All right, this is our dinner. This is what Cameron and I are going to share tonight. We don't typically eat the whole plate of wings. We do have some leftovers, and I'm usually the one that eats them the next day, so I'll probably have these for my breakfast tomorrow. Odd breakfast, I know, but I am an odd person. Anyway, we are going to throw down these wings, and I will talk to you in the next one.